I always psych myself up before presenting, even when I'm presenting live. Most of you know, if you're coming in, welcome, first of all. You're welcome to tell me where you're from, or even better, I want you to answer this poll. We're going to go ahead and publish this poll as we go here. Welcome. I'm so glad you're all here. End of another amazing day doing CSI Connect. I will tell you, I did a video the other day of my little workspace here. Will you guys let me know how my volume is, if I'm too loud or too soft? Thank you, Eric. Eric says, my shameless plug worked. Hooray. Go ahead and answer the poll. We're going to take a look at those results in a second. I am more than a little bit bibliophile in my heart. So, of course, I love to see where everybody's from, where everybody identifies from. I think most days I'm from Middle Earth. I'm just that big of a nerd, you guys. So yeah, earlier today, because my space here, you guys are only seeing my backdrop, but is somebody called it mission control. It kind of is. I like to think of it more like that scene in The Matrix, you know, how they're watching The Matrix on like 20 different screens. I really only have 7 screens up, but to be fair, the one that I'm looking at right now is ginormous. Would you guys like to see my book collection, perchance, as you're like answering the poll? Andrea says, "Can I be from Prithian instead?" Yes, yes, you can, and yes, you can be from Westeros as well. Yeah, tell me where else you're from. In addition to Dublin, Georgia, and David from Toronto, and Kokomo there's a Kokomo in Indiana. Wait. Is that from the Beach Boys song, Kokomo, Indiana? I heard it was nice there. And Jamie says her puppy's name is Aowen because she is no math. Yes, that is my favorite. Chris Livingston from Price, Utah. Fun fact, my dad's first teaching job was in Price, Utah at Price High School. Wait, is that right? No, it's like southeastern Utah. Anyway, my grandpa was the dean of schools at CEU, the only other person in my family to get a doctorate degree, and I'm actually working on my doctorate degree as well. So I love Price. I know Price. I did my summers in Price, staying with my cousins. If you know AJ's Body Shop with the Stouts, those are my cousins. So small world. Welcome to Utah. Beth says, where else is there a Kokomo? I don't know. I go first to Indiana, of course. So the Beach Boys, you guys are great. Yeah, so please answer the poll. I'm going to pop over here and see who's winning. Apparently Hogwarts is winning. We have lots of wizards in our midst, which is great. I'm going to say wizards as people who are magical, non-gender specific, all right? Wizards. We have some from Narnia, many from Middle Earth. Oh, you guys have not read the Earthsea books? And our Lewin, I put in there for our Australian friends, because that is from an Australian author. One of my favorites, if you've never read like the Brother Band Chronicles or the Ranger's Apprentice series. I started reading them when I was teaching middle school band. I've always found that reading the literature that my students are experiencing opens doors for many conversations. You can walk behind that row of clarinet players who are usually so quiet, and you look under their chair and you see Aragon, and you're like, oh, you're reading Aragon? Oh my gosh, do you wish you could live in the spine? Because that is so super cool. And do you remember the word for fire? And then you start, every time you pass that person in the hallway, you say the word fire, and it just builds so I'm a massive bibliophile. I'm going to give you guys a short tour of my inner sanctum here. So you've got my, bear with me. I'm going to try not to make you guys sick. So we've got computer, because you guys know I'm running a lot of these sessions. And then you've got my bookshelf, and forgive my really nice lights. So this is my antique set of complete Charles Dickens right here. Being from Utah, I don't know if you can tell, but I have very old set of Mormon history right here. Found those on my honeymoon. It was actually pretty cool. So yeah, I've got a lot of books and I love it. Collecting antique books is one of my favorite hobbies that my husband and I share. So it's awesome. I am going to close out my other things. Check the time. We're still good to stall. Let me go back to the chat here. Charles Dickens, my heart. I know. Okay, here's the story. All right. So we have this used bookstore in downtown Grand Junction where I live. It's kind of a smaller town, very outdoor recreation, extraction industry heavy. And I was working. I was going through a divorce, and I was working at this music store. Like I walked in and I said, I'm just finishing up my MBA. I've worked in music stores before. Would you hire me? And the wonderful man there said, yes, when do you want to work? I can only pay you like $15 an hour. But I'm like, I don't care. I need something so I can get an apartment. Anyway, long story short, he hires me. I'm always grateful to him. John Hanley, who's now passed. Anyway, so I'm walking down, I go to the used bookstore and I see this beautiful complete set of Charles Dickens. And I'm like, I desperately, desperately want that. But it was like $150 and going through a divorce is kind of expensive and getting my own apartment. So I just kind of put it off. And then one day I was doing inventory because that's what you do when you work in a music store is inventory. And I was doing inventory and found a complete set of Charles Dickens, like an antique set in the back room behind the instruments. And I was like, John, what is with this full set of Charles Dickens? And he's like, oh, those are from my grandpa. I just store them here. And I was like, can I have them? Like, do you want to give them to me? And he was like, no. So then when I got a teaching job, which fun fact, teaching job is a really good job. Okay. And so I got this private teaching job and not private teaching, sorry, private school. And so I quit teaching at the music store. And my last day there, they were so grateful for what I had done because I'd remade their website, remade their inventory system. I streamlined everything. That's just what I do. Everything that I touch, I build and grow and make better. So he had gone down to the bookstore and bought me as a thank you gift that full set of Charles Dickens. And now it's on my shelf where I can see it and enjoy it. And it's beautiful. So that is my story of the Charles Dickens. Hi, everybody. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Elise. Hi, John Muir. Yes, absolutely. Rebecca says, oh, we met at the Modern Band Summit. I love it. And guess what? They're doing it online. And guess who's going to be helping them? This girl. So I will get to experience that with you again. All right, I'm going to end the poll so that you guys can all see where everybody was from. Okay, but seriously, you guys need to go get those, the Brother Band Chronicles, anything by John Flanagan. He's an Australian author. He's amazing. Start with, Brother Band is pretty good, but the Ranger's Apprentice series, some of my favorites. All right. That is enough about books. Let's go the other complete direction and talk about tips and tricks for teaching online. You guys, I have tons of material for this. Obviously, I have access to so much material. So big caveat, these are the things that I personally use when I create online learning, okay? So that is my big caveat. There are other resources out there. I would love for you to share them. But even more, what I would love is if you'll come to my skull session, because we're going to be creating it as a work session, all right? Where we're going to be collaborating on sharing ideas. And I have a way to do that. We're all going to fill out a form. You're all going to get access to it. So it's kind of whatever you need it to be. All right. Deborah's asking, what do you teach? So we're going to get to that. All right. Right now I teach online learning. I teach people how to teach online. How about that? I teach people how to teach online. So I'm Elisa Janson Jones, in case we haven't met. Hello. We're actually going to start with this little collaborative project because I love exploring new ways for us to collaborate and learn online. So I'm not sure if this link is going to work. Let me just double check the link here. Forgive me. And thank you for your patience. Oh, here we go. I'm just going to edit it. I just want to make sure that it's the right link. I tested it before. Always test. That is the lesson of the day. And go ahead and answer this poll question. It is, just contribute now. Where did the term skull session come from? Kate is wondering. I have no idea. I don't know. It's kind of a Conn-Selmer Institute tradition for their in-person conference, and I haven't ever heard that before either. All right, so check this out. What you are seeing is my secondary monitor, and I unloaded the Jeep. Okay, so what you're seeing is a collaborative tag cloud function. So go ahead and type in your response, and we will see what happens here. So you can, if you get on here, you see the responses and you vote them up or down. So if you agree that the resources is the one word, if fire hydrant is the one word, which should be one word, energizing, enjoyable, well-organized, convenient. If you see a word that you agree with, give it the thumbs up and it's going to push that response to the top. So ideally, we end up with a top-down kind of look at what your take has been of the conference. So it's already full. Okay, so when you get in there, can you click on the thumbs up? Give that a try, okay? And see if it will let you vote up or down. I'll be honest, this is the first time I've used it. Yep, we're getting multiple responses. So if it's full, get in there, go back, and it's not letting you type. It's not letting you click. It's not letting you do anything. Oh, this tool is getting a thumbs down. This poll has received the maximum number of responses. Well, let's see. Thank you guys for humoring me for this being the first time I'm using it. All right, so we're going to play with that later. Now, instead of clicking through to this little poll, will you guys just type it into the chat and tell me, try a Padlet. Thank you, Matthew Cotton. I get that you like a Padlet. I'd love to know what it is that you like about a Padlet. All right, so go ahead and type in and don't mind my questions for Mr. Saucedo there. Here we go. So yes, uplifting, inspirational. Manny says needed. Sam Yam says informative. Yes, this is great. Oh, this is so good, you guys. Because guess what I'm going to be able to do now is download all of those chat responses and turn them into a tag cloud for us. So inspirational, proactive. Yes, good. Let me know if it's been relevant. Let me know if it's been relevant. All right. Okay, let's go on. First of all, let's take a little paradigm shift. And if you attended my session yesterday, please bear with me. Because we are going to do just a quick review because I want to make sure that we're kind of all in tune with where we are and where we can go. So here's another quick poll. Do for me, please. I want to know, how have you personally learned information? Okay. Have you understood, hopefully through this conference, now that you've showed us how much you've learned, how much you've grown, how much you've appreciated, you are experiencing in real time the impact of online learning, and not just online learning, but remote learning, because that's really what it is, right? If we're in two separate places, whether we're next door to each other or not, it's still remote learning. So don't think of it as online learning. Online is just the tool that we're using to create that remote learning experience. All right. I'm an author. I've written a few books. My next door neighbor could be reading them and still learning from me, even though I'm not in the same room, right? So humans have been distance learning for thousands of years. You don't have to be in the same room to learn the same thing. So let's see. You've learned some stuff from books, but more from videos. I love that. Podcasts. Oh my gosh. One of my favorite podcasts is Stuff You Should Know with Josh and Chuck. I listen to like every episode. And my second favorite is my podcast, which is the Music Ed Mentor podcast. And I have amazing, wonderful, wonderful guests that come on and chat with me. We just are doing one this week. You guys get kind of a preview that's all about, and most of you have learned from all of the above, right? Awesome. So here you go. You can see these results for just a little bit. Absolutely. You have learned from every one of the above. And I bet the creator of that learning was not in the same room with you. So we have to start shifting the way that we think and understand that this is here to stay. I got my entire master's degree online, and it's just an opportunity. Even when we go back to school full time and are in person or having great rehearsals, don't you still want your students to learn remotely from you? You want them to do homework. You want them to continue learning. So this time is when you get to create all of that online learning that can supplement what you do in person and enhance it. All right. So for those of you who we haven't met before, I love you all. Thank you for coming. I am an experienced K-8 music educator. I only left the classroom last year. I was teaching elementary music, middle school band, and choir. I absolutely loved it. But I just shifted my focus from, instead of teaching students to love music, to teaching teachers to love teaching teachers to teach students to love music. And like I said at the beginning, to teach people how to teach online. I think that that's extremely important for us to know. And I happen to have a lot of experience in that. So there we are. I do still get my kicks conducting my community band. I absolutely love it. I have missed them. We're normally in the middle of our summer season right now. And I'm just aching to get back with my band. I just absolutely adore them. I have an MBA. I wanted to get a master's degree, but not necessarily music or in education. So I did it in the one topic that I felt I needed more of as a music teacher. And totally agree with me in the chat if you agree that knowing business skills is essential for music teachers, right? Right? Business skills. So that's why I got my MBA. It has served me extremely well because it's allowed me to start my podcast and a blog and create online learning and all this kind of stuff. I've created online conferences. I helped to create this one. I certainly am part of an amazing team. It's just something that I have done before. I also created the International Music Education Summit, and I'm the founder of the Music Educators Creating Online Learning group as well. So hopefully you're all in that. See, you guys all totally agree. Yes, awesome. And I created my first online course 4 years ago, and I'm currently working on a doctorate in instructional design and online learning. So, I do a lot of stuff, but most of all, I'm here with you to do this. Because this is what we're going to talk about, are my best tips for creating effective online learning. So get ready to take notes, to grab links, to do all kinds of stuff. Arlie says, yes, I love that group. And Jamie says, business and entrepreneurship skills are essential. It's so, so true. Sam is wondering what state I'm out of. I'm in Western Colorado, right on the Utah border. So it's a beautiful place here. So this is a quick review for those of you who joined me in my session yesterday. This is one of my favorite instructional design models. And this is where you should start. If you're like, I don't know where to start, there's so many materials out there and so many activities I want to do and so much software and so much this, that, and the other, start with backward design. What do you want them to know? How will you know when they know it? And how will you deliver that knowledge to them? So those activities and resources and stuff, that's secondary. The first thing you need to know is, what are they going to learn? All right, we really are going to move so quickly here because we did this yesterday. So it should be student-centered. It's not about what you want to do. It's about what they want to do. What music do they want to do? What kinds of things will they have fun with? So, and then shift your thinking to what is it that they really want to teach. That this is a super cute little girl. It's the same little girl. This is my daughter. When when I was teaching at Willow Creek Middle School in Lehi, Utah. This was her. She has an interest in music from the start, and now she's a senior in high school. I can't believe she's a senior in high school. And she's a fabulous all-state tuba player. And we do, not every student is like her who has had a love of music education. She wants to be a music teacher and major in music and perform her whole life. Not every student is like that. We need to find ways that we can reach them by doing stuff that they like, okay? Another tip is to keep it project-based. So for example, a project that I have done with some people is not in my videos, but you guys know it, a virtual band project, right? I've done virtual band, I've done virtual choir, and you can absolutely do it. We were doing a virtual honor band 6 months before in fact, it was an idea that I had a little more than a year ago, was to do an honor band that students would audition for, and we would do it all virtually. They would record and submit, and we did online rehearsals, and we'd pull in amazing sectional leaders to do all these things so that students who don't have access to an honor band experience can still have some sort of honor band experience. So the point is project-based, okay? Make sure you align it with your mandated curriculum and design your rubrics to meet the project needs, okay? Again, I don't have this video uploaded, so I will tell you if you want to do a virtual ensemble project. I have worked personally with two publishers to try and make that happen as easily as possible. We want you to focus on the music, so you don't have to worry about all that technology. If you want to do something like this, virtual ensemble experience. If this is something that interests you, it is a service, and there you go. It is legitimate learning. I mean, type in the chat right now, what could your students learn by doing this? What are your objectives for the lesson plans that you do, right? It's all right there. Make sure you learn to take turns. You guys know this bit. You talk to them, they talk to you, and be consistent with your type of communication. Make sure that you do bite-sized pieces, and we're going to talk more about this as well. The older the student, the bigger the bite, right? But for many students, you have to do tiny, tiny bite-sized learning. I do want to show you this. So this is I told you that I teach people how to teach online, right? So I created an online course to teach conference presenters I can't believe I'm going to show you guys this. I did this up in about a weekend. This is my website, little description about the course, how long it will take to complete. And here's my bite-sized pieces. So it's 30 minutes of video, but they're broken down into, this one's 2 minutes, that one's 2 minutes, little quiz just to test their understanding and get them to think about things. Was there an offer we were supposed to see? You don't need to see it now. Okay. And exploring Webinar Jam. Okay. Little bite-sized pieces. All right. So this is what I mean by bite-sized pieces. 90-second videos. So this all could have been one straight 30-minute video or even longer, because I have like 90 minutes of resources on just how to run a webinar. But instead, I broke it down. 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Okay. This is me demonstrating I practice what I preach. 1 minute, 10 seconds. All right. Bite-sized pieces, my dears. Let me pull my PowerPoint back up. Yes, you're allowed to sing hold music. Okay, here we go. Now, I know, and all the other presenters are like, but Elisa, you should have uploaded that into Webinar Jam. That's what you taught us to do. And I will tell you, you're absolutely right. I should have done that. Okay, let's go back. Number 5, adjust. What other areas can you focus on to achieve your primary mission? Embrace repetition. We're band teachers, we're orchestra directors. We desperately do the again thing. So why not do the same projects again? Why not do the same activities again? Why not do, all of these fun little things again? I used to keep, for my elementary kids, I used to have a different cup for every single grade. And whenever we learned a new song, I would write it on a craft stick and stick it in the cup. And then if we ran out of time or we had extra time at the end of a class period, I would just pull the second grade one and go, here you go. Who wants to pick a song? And that gave us that chance to do so much repetition of those. And guess what? They loved it. Okay. I just saw somebody type the tip Ed puzzle in there. Absolutely. I love Ed puzzle. It's not one that we're going to talk about today, but unless you come to the skull session, then it absolutely will be one that we touch on. And finally, use this stuff, use it or lose it is what I believe. And use it whenever your students aren't in your classroom, right? Still apply these online learning things to get them to practice at home. I always had a website for my classes where they could get in and access practice materials. We did a lot of singing, of course, and we did vocal programs. And I always put extra learning on a web page for them to access. I'm like, that thing you have to be on the internet to access, that thing you're staring at right now, it's called a web page, right? So let's talk really specific tips. So that was kind of the overarching paradigm shifting kind of thing. Number 1, we're going to talk about how to be confident, look and sound like a pro. I'm sure you all heard me sound like an extra pro on Bob's session this morning because my microphone was on and I'm so sorry, you guys. We're going to talk about screen capture tools, about creating materials. We're going to talk about breaking up your content like I just showed you, and motivation and activation. So these are my top tips. And like I mentioned at the beginning, this is a big disclaimer. The things we're going to cover in this session are not everything. There's no way we could cover everything. So if you want to find more materials, go to my Facebook group. It's Music Educators Creating Online Learning. I'm not sure how quickly you'll be accepted into the group right now because I'm running conferences all week. But I am very happy to be in there, and I'm so glad that it has become such a place of learning and innovation for everybody. So if you have tools as we go along, I want to see them in the chat. Okay, let's share our best tools with each other. And if we don't get through everything, come to my skull session and we'll be sure to cover everything. All right. Let's talk tips for looking and sounding like a pro. You probably noticed that I look and sound like a pro. Somebody says short videos are so much more fun. It's so true. Why do you think TikTok is a thing, you guys? TikTok is a thing because they're just little short videos. It's entertaining, right? And non-committal. Let's go with that. Horn player. Okay, let's talk tips. Look and sound like a pro. More than anything, this will help you be more confident. If you have a shadowy face, or if you aren't sure how to look like a pro or how to project yourself like a pro, you're not going to feel like a pro. And it goes the other way around. All right. And why should you sound and look like a pro? It's because it will be more engaging for your students and it will build their confidence in you. I went to Brigham Young University in Utah, loved it. Amazing school, my favorite. And my wonderful professors said, I should probably name drop Don Peterson. I'm just saying. Anyway, they said it was always important for us to perform for our students so they could hear what amazing musicians we are. Well, now is your chance to perform for your students so they know what an amazing teacher you are. Okay. If you're not well lit, if you're not confident on screen, you're going to lose their confidence. So choose a blank background. This is a muslin fabric. It could have been a bed sheet. Last year I did a bed sheet. You have curtains, whatever. As you saw, the rest of my space would be very distracting if it was in the background. I have a bunch of masks on the wall that if you were to see that as my background, you'd be going, where's that mask from? That looks pretty old. I wonder if that's old. Where did she collect that? Is that the Birdman from the Easter Island people? Wait, is that one from Ghana? Is that a plate or is that a mask? You get the idea. The human mind loves to wander. And so if you can give them something to not wander on, you're going to be a pro. Light up your face and your space. I know you can't, you can probably tell I have a big light up there. I have a big light there, and I have a ring light right here. This is all that you really need, unless you're doing it full time like I am, and you can justify it. But really just light up your face. Get rid of the shadows. Also, it's going to make you look younger, more beautiful. So you might want to do that. Also, use an external microphone. I have multiple computers here. I love my MacBook, but somebody's asking, where did you find ring lights? Amazon. And they have clip-on ones now too that can just like clip on, or they can clip on your phone or whatever. Super cool. They're like $20, you guys. Maybe I'll share with you my equipment resource page. Would you guys like that? My equipment resource page? Remind me to do that at the end. So my MacBook is an amazing computer and it's loud. Okay. I hate recording on it because I hear the fan in the background, and it's not something that I notice when I'm presenting at the time, because it's just an ambient sound. We tend to just tune those out, kind of like we tune out the trumpets because they're just an ambient sound. I hope you all laugh. Okay, so I love you trumpet players. I'm a trumpet player. Anyway, I don't like that, so I use an external microphone. I'm actually demonstrating one option right now. This is just a built-in microphone on these earbuds. That's not what you're hearing necessarily. Oh, I love you guys so much. This is my nice microphone, my nicer. I have 3 microphones. This is the middle of the road one. This is my Yeti. It allows me to change the directional input and the gain. So the gain versus the volume, quick sound tip here from your friendly Music Ed Mentor podcast, is the gain is the incoming thing. So somebody said that it's like a faucet, right? So the gain is the pressure of the water coming in to the microphone, and then the volume is like the water going out of the microphone. So the gain is what's coming in, how high that is, and then the volume is the going out bit. Okay. By the way, anything that you guys type in the chat, I'm going to be able to read later with my friends from those companies. Okay. So this is a Blue Yeti. I haven't used any other types. I really like this one because it does have, you guys, it's going to kill you. It does have a mute button on it. Okay. And I can also mute in and out of a session as well. Yes. Oh, you guys are sharing some amazing tools as well. Shure SM58 has a USB version. USB microphones are great. I like this one because it becomes my audio in and my audio out. So I can listen through the microphone. I can change the volume, and I bought it to be portable so that I could record my band at school, my band at community band, or I actually took it to the National Association for Music Education conference and recorded a whole podcast episode remotely, which was pretty cool too. So use an external microphone. I do have a lot of podcast guests just opt for this, and that's okay too, as long as it's not rubbing on your shirt. And you will notice I have like a wind filter on this, and for my podcast, I actually have a pop filter as well. So here's the key about choosing equipment. If you don't like it, if there's something bothering you about it, like, oh, it keeps rubbing on my shirt, or oh, it gives me a scratchy sound, or oh, you're hearing go, poop, 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 right? Then you know what equipment to get, right? Just fix it. Be more dynamic than you think you have to be. I am not, okay, maybe I'm this dynamic in person. Those of you who have seen me present in person are going to have to tell me if that's the case. But I like to be a little over the top when we're online. I mean, think about what people are listening to and watching all of the time. If it's TV, if it's YouTube, you've got to be more dynamic than anything else, right? So, it's also very helpful to practice, especially in a mirror, or practice recording yourself. Get used to having that camera staring at your face. The more you can practice, the more confident you're going to be. Just like with conducting, record yourself conducting, watch it back, that kind of thing. I'm going to answer some questions in the chat. So if you have questions, just mark them as a question with the red dot. Somebody is saying MuseScore is free and user-friendly. MuseScore is great. I think, there's a lot of great free options out there, and I think you should try them out because you're going to have different preferences. I used Sibelius for years, and so MuseScore was very intuitive to me. But I know some people who like the presets and stuff, and the way that Note Flight works as well, and they're amazing. They have a huge library, and you can play along with videos, and they're so amazing. John Lisnak is a good friend of mine, and he does some great trainings on that. Sam Yam is asking, does anyone know a good external mic to record a concert? Something like this would probably work. It has a mode that does that. What's more important is, like you don't want, they have microphones that go straight. We should just have a conference session that's all just on sound, right? Because there are so many different sound needs, from your personal sound to ensemble sound. There are microphones that you can get that's a sphere, and so you can record and mix your sound from there. There are shotgun microphones, so you can just point it and it will only pick up things in that direction. That is a really loaded question. I love it. Why does using a mic level make so much lower than computer mic? Why does using mic make level so much lower? I'm not sure I understand what you mean, Carol, by that question, but I will tell you that different computers have different quality of built-in microphones, and you might try them out and like one over the other. You might like your nice earbuds. We've had a lot of good luck with those. Those earpods. Thank you. You guys are so good. Okay. Earpods have worked pretty well because they're both a microphone and a speaker into your ear. There are lots of great DAWs. Those are those digital audio workstations. Probably my two favorites are BandLab and Soundtrap. They both are ages 4+ approved, so they're collaborative. So you can have a project that multiple kids can work on all at the same time. I actually did a virtual choir project with using Soundtrap, and it was not super easy. I mean, none of this is super easy, right? But it was really fun to be able to do. Yeah, you guys are Soundtrap amazing. Thanks, Samantha. We did a whole virtual choir thing with Soundtrap, and we did it audio only and then turned it into a lyric video. So it was extremely easy to just do the audio. I've done my own mixes of myself singing using Soundtrap, and then my video editor that I use the most is Camtasia. So let's get to some more of these. First of all, look and sound good, okay? Assess yourself. Use good equipment is an investment. It's going to cost money. Get your school to buy it, right? Unless you want to take it home and use it yourself. Definitely worth the investment in my mind, if this is going to continue and you're going to keep creating online learning stuff for your students. All right, let's talk about some screen capture tools. Everybody type your screen capture tools into the chat. What do you like to use to capture screens? And I will continue answering questions as you guys fill them up. Beth says, what are the two DAWs that I mentioned? BandLab and Soundtrap. BandLab and Soundtrap. So are we and the students going to have downloads like a billion apps and programs? Ideally, no. You should pick one to start with. just pick one and have fun with it. Yes, thank you, Chris Livingston, typing those in. Screencastify is great. I haven't used it a lot. I've demonstrated it and tried it out. Rebecca says Mac Command Shift 4. Also, Mac Command Shift 5. Have you tried that one? That's the video capture. I will tell you my favorite, hands down, video capture is Snagit. I'm so sorry. It's called Snagit. And I'll show you that. But first of all, here are some general rules. Screen capture stuff is great for show and tell. It's while you're walking somebody through, you're demonstrating, okay? Respect people's copyright and privacy. Like, don't use a screen capture to capture all of the videos in somebody's YouTube feed and then you know, put them on your own. So do that. Like I said, I love Snagit, and I can show you guys that. Probably it's going to have to wait until the skull session for you to be able to have me demonstrate that for you, but I'd love to. Maybe it is worth us just doing it. Using your own operating system, Command Shift 4 will do the image, and print screen will capture. Sorry, I should have said the first one is for Mac users and the second one is for Windows users. I use both operating systems pretty consistently. I'm ambidextrous that way. You can definitely use for video, and we're going to get to that. Yes. Okay, Snagit still works for video. Snagit is a paid program. You're going to find there's tons of free stuff out there, and the paid stuff is so awesome, worth it most of the time, especially because they give educator discounts, and your district will probably buy it and put it on your school computer for you. I know that's what happened for me. Eric is saying Screencastify is great if you're a Google school or district. It is a Chrome extension. It will keep all of your screencasts in your folder in your drive. I love it. Yes. So that is a really good one. And I use Loom very extensively. I get questions all the time about, well, how do I do this, Elisa? How do I do that? And my inbox is full of 400 emails of people asking me to show them how to do something. And using Loom, I can have it done in a few minutes and be able to send them the URL so I can download it into a file and share it. I think I can save it to my Google Drive, and it turns it into URL so that I can share it. So at the end, I actually have a Loom video to share with you guys that I created for you. Like I said, Screencast-O-Matic, I've tried Screencastify, Screencast-O-Matic. I think there's both. I've tried them out. Don't use them extensively because I use these other tools. So whoever it was that asked, do we need to download 1,000 apps? Don't. Just download one to start. And then, like I said, I like Loom a lot, and that. So the number one thing, like I said, that I use is Loom. I would say Loom and Snagit and Canva are my top 3 tools for creating anything online learning wise. And then my paid program, which is Camtasia. Would you guys like to see Loom? Type in the chat if you want me to just do a quick Loom thing. Yeah, Loom is a Chrome extension, and it is free, or like Eric says, is freemium. Eric, you should just get on here with me, dude. You got the answers, man. I love it. So Loom, okay, there's enough requests. Let's do it real quick. So here's my little virtual ensemble experience thing. I should have said that I've teamed up. The thing that makes this a little bit different is I've teamed up with Alfred Music Publishing for choral works and GPG Music for band and orchestral. And so we've already basically gained permission to use their songs. So Loom is right here. It's this Chrome extension you can't quite see because it says +9 by it. And so all you do is click on that. And here's your controls. You can see it's getting my computer audio, but I could, or my microphone audio, but I could turn that off if I wanted. I can do camera only or screen only or screen plus camera. So if you're wanting to demonstrate something for a student with you playing, this is me playing the piccolo, with you playing while the music is on the screen, so they can see the music and hear you play, this is the way to do it, okay? Or one way you can do it. There's many ways to come to the same conclusions. You got to pick your camera. Yes, I use a couple different camera things, and which microphone you want to use. You can do all of these little options. It's super, super easy. And then you start recording. And I'm going to tell it which thing to record. It lets you choose either your entire screen or your application window. Playing piccolo backwards in the circle. Yeah. And then Beth says, is there a way to turn yourself around so you aren't mirroring yourself? Yeah, it's like this. Sorry, middle school band teacher. Yes, you can turn off the mirroring as well. All right, so we're taking this loom right here, and I can say, this is a virtual ensemble experience. And it does record computer audio, which is pretty nice. So here's my little virtual band video. And I have to say, it was actually GPG Music and their video editor guy, Spencer, he's amazing, that did all of that. I'm just the brains behind it and made it happen. So there's all the description, yada, yada, yada. I click check, and it's going to pull my Loom video into a URL, ta-da. And I can invite people, I can add a password so only certain people can see it. It takes time to download it, but I could download it, put it in a folder. I could duplicate it. So I could duplicate it and add a different password for every student that I want to have see it. I can do some light editing if I wanted to, or upgrade to pro, and it would let me do some other things like add a call to action. A call to action or a CTA is kind of a thing. What am I trying to say? Oh, it's a business thing. CTA, call to action. It's just, what do you want them to do? And here we go. Copy the link. And now I can put that link where everybody can watch it if you'd like. I just dropped it in the chat. So that is Loom. Super fast, super easy, super freezel. And I love it and use it a lot. It's great for little mini tutorials, especially. And application window. And tips and tricks, share. Okay. Free, Canva, Adobe Spark, slides and PowerPoint. I'm going to go back there. So these are ways that you can make awesome free videos. So for example, what is a good example? Should I just show you? I should introduce you to Canva because honestly, it's one of my very most favorite tools. Here's what we're going to try. I'm not going to close my PowerPoint. We're just going to do a different screen share. There we go. Live and learn, you guys. So this is another one of my very most favorite tools. This is called Canva. I think I've converted most of the presenters to Canva because it is free. It is, and Dina says, this is going to make my videos so much more engaging. I teach pre-K and kindergarten music, over 300 kiddos. Anything I can do to be more engaging is amazing. You're welcome. Awesome. Megan says, are there limitations on the free versions? Screencastify lets you do only 5 minutes. I think I've done 20 or 30 different videos. So yeah. Okay. So this is Canva. It's an online design tool thingy. So you'll see, obviously, I've been working on CSI Connect. You can do Facebook posts. It has a bunch of things that are preloaded, like pre-designed, like templates. Thank you. I'm not tired. You guys are tired. So let's take a look if I wanted to do a video. This is what I have done for some really easy, fun videos. And I think they're super cute. So for example, now I've got, it's almost like I can create a PowerPoint, but using videos. And then I could change it to how to be a rock star trumpet player. And then I can add a new video, or I can duplicate it and say, first of all, good tone is a must. Okay. And then I can download it right from there. I can change the colors. I can crop it, make it a different size. I can trim it so that it's longer or shorter on that. And I have totally been loving using this. Holy smokes. Okay. I mean, I've used Canva for years, but when they started adding video elements, I was like, and so my other favorite video tool, because it seems like you guys are kind of digging this, is Adobe Spark. And oh my gosh, we have gone way long. Have we gone way long on the time? It's supposed to be 1,500 hours. Oh, yep. Guess what, you guys? I got to bail. Tell you what, I apologize for my atrocious timing. It's just that I get so into it. And this is my first time really getting to share all of this before. So we're going to come back to my, in my skull session, which is going to be after the keynotes. Okay. And I'm going to leave this up here, but hop in. I know, I wish I could keep going, you guys. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I think I can share my slideshow. But do come to my skull session and we can cover more of these online teaching tools, okay? Because obviously I had more that I wanted to show you. So let's leave it with this. These are the big, amazing takeaways, you guys. Keep it bite-sized. Break it down into little pieces for your little kids. And yes, I do have a teenage daughter and she is still a little kid. So keep it small, keep it fun, and celebrate every success. Every time a student sends you a video, make a big freaking deal about it, right? And be like, oh, Johnny, I got your video and it was so amazing. And they are going to eat that up, okay? This is how you recruit for your programs, is creating fun online learning connections for them. So please, please, please come to my skull session. And wait, before you go, I do have this for you, which is a Loom video that I made for you. Oh, and we were going to do Speak Pipe too, you guys. Okay. This will be a fun one when I can spend 90 minutes doing it, right? So thank you all so much for coming. And honestly, keep it simple, keep it fun, keep it engaging, enjoy yourselves, and your students will enjoy it as well. And that's really, really what it's all about. You know what? Maybe I will do a follow-up video for you guys and just add all of this in and take my time, and I will send it to you. Okay. Yes, I will include that resource list for you. Let me see if I can pull it up really quickly here. Resources, where are they? They are equipment. I'll have to look it up, you guys. And I don't want you to miss the next sessions that are coming up, which is building a culture of excellence with Dr. Tim and Richard is going to be amazing. A collaborative discussion in the MAC. The Conn-Selmer Division Resources with Mike is going to be fantastic. So yes, thank you all for coming. You are amazing. Enjoy the rest of the conference. And I will do a follow-up video. I'll give you so many resources you won't even know what to do with them. Except you will, because we talked about backward design. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your time at CSI Connect.